day to the legendary Philadelphia Eagles faithful. Fly, Eagles fly. Look, before we get stuck into this massive story about Vic Fangio almost hanging up the boots, do us a massive favor and smash that like button. If you want our defense to keep being the toughest bunch of blokes in the NFL for 2026, this video is a must-watch. Cheers for the support. Philly is a place where even a retirement becomes a proper drama. What looked like a solid plan for 2026 almost turned into a tactical nightmare. Vic Fangio, the bloke who built the #1 defense in the NFL, nearly called it a day, and the front office at the Novacare complex was absolutely sweating. Imagine the scene. You've got the best defense in the league and a coordinator who's a finalist for Assistant Coach of the Year. Then the phone rings and the news is that the godfather Vic Fangio wants to retire. That was the shock the Eagles copped recently. According to Jimmy Kempski from the Philly Voice, Fangio was dead set on leaving football, which sent shockwaves through the whole of Pennsylvania. The big bosses, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, had to go into full damage control. They knew losing Fangio now wasn't just losing a coach. It was losing the soul of a defense that held opponents to their lowest completion percentage since 2008. It took some serious fast-talking to convince him to stay for at least the 2026 season. Things got so shaky that the Eagles even started looking at the X-Files, thinking about bringing back Jonathan Gannon or Jim Schwartz. Gannon ended up with the Packers, but Jim Schwartz was definitely on the radar because he's a bit unhappy over in Cleveland. Seeing Schwartz's name pop up again shows just how desperate the Birds were to keep that elite standard if Fangio walked away. The real head-scratcher is why the Eagles let Christian Parker go to the Dallas Cowboys to be their DC. If Fangio's future was up in the air, letting a talent like Parker join our biggest rivals is a massive gamble. The Eagles haven't even officially confirmed Fangio is staying in their latest statements, which only adds to the mystery. Is there still a bit of wiggle room for him to change his mind? To understand why they fought so hard for Vic, you just have to look at the stats. Under his watch, Philly became a fortress. Only 14 passing touchdowns allowed all year, the best since 2001. They were also the best in the NFL in the red zone and on third downs. Fangio brought back that hard-nosed, physical footy. His padded practices were the foundation for that 8-game winning streak. Losing that philosophy now would be like taking the engine out of a V8 supercar right before the big race. The news that he's staying for 2026 is a relief, but it's also a warning. If this is the last dance, the Eagles have to strike now. The Super Bowl window is wide open, and with the #1 defense, there's no room for errors. Philly is breathing a bit easier for now, but everyone's still keeping a close eye on the Godfather's clipboard.